when we started discussing approaches to the regulation of RWD, RWE in Russia, we understood there was a challenge because nowhere in the world such approaches had been developed. So we decided to work step by step and started from the experience of the USA. The results of this study was published, and in slides you will see the link to our article. What conclusions did we make? First, the United States introduced the basic terms of RWE, RWD. Besides the law, they have a basic program, and we translated it as the program for RWE. So how this institute was to be developed. So in the clinical practice data can be used for the registration of the drug, for making changes into the investigational file, and into pharmacovigilance. Being lawyers, we found it interesting to see how it is used in practice. We found very many sources in English, and now we're providing the table which shows the real use of RWD. I looked at the site FDA, and I saw that for sacralimus, on the basis of RWE, the new indication for this immunosuppressor was adopted. Now he can be used in lung transplantation. And it is described as one of the of the best examples of using RWE when the researchers looked at the register on transplantation, analyzed the data on lethality, compared them, and concluded that the drug shows its efficacy in lung transplantation. Nevertheless, coming back to our local norms, last year, in order to compare what they have in foreign countries and what we have, we made a large study, analyzed different spheres where RWE can be used, and came to certain conclusions. The conclusions were as follows. We did not find any prohibitions because RWE are used quite actively. Nevertheless, we found some gaps, some contradictions that do not allow to use this institute very effectively. That's why before working out changes for our local legislation, we decided to look at our neighboring foreign countries who are part of Euro-Asian Union. We made up a questionnaire. It was sent to the Euro-Asian Economic Commission, and the colleagues with great interest took it and sent it out to the union participants. And the conclusion was made by the results of this research was that there is no developed regulatory approach to data collection and analysis in any of the countries. And that was confirmed at the meeting of the Eurasian Commission. The article which I have mentioned, in the article which I have mentioned, we suggested some amendments concerning the registration and the pharmacovigilance. We need to agree about the terms, and then we will agree how we'll use these terms. That was a very great success, and thanks to the fact that Alexei Kolbin explained many times what are real world data, what are real world evidence. Thanks to that, since our position was taken in, 5 regulators approved these amendments amendments. And now these amendments went to a more formalized round of discussion, and then they will be reflected in these documents. Of course, this is no, this will not be very fast, but that will happen. I think it is a great achievement and a very good example how effectively we can use with our judicial association. And one more thing we haven't mentioned, we haven't discussed, this is my proposal about what could be done further on. Now, the Eurasian Commission discusses the concept of the further development of drug market of the Union, and they are accepting proposals from participating countries what legislative acts can be included. One of the versions shown in the slide, we can suggest developing a strategy of developing the normative field of the Eurasian Union, of using evidence based on the data. So probably to follow the experience of the United States. And it is quite possible that that would be a separate section, a separate area, a separate document for the future development of the market. But this work provides for close cooperation between the juridical associations to develop the strategy to see how it would be used in real clinical practice, and probably to discuss it on some industrial platforms, to discuss it with industry, so, and to present more detailed proposals for the improvement of the legal field so that we could use these institutes and pass by the barriers that we have today. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you, dear colleagues.